how do you feel about like modern day like MCU and DC?
Yeah, so I don't love the movies. Yeah, I know. Sorry.
Really?
Yeah, just because if you're a fan of the like Amazing Spider-Man comics and the Todd McFarlane run or Uncanny X-Men, like it's definitely so far away from what we read when I was a kid that it gets a little hard. Yeah.
How did you feel about the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man?
So Spider-Man to me is actually the recent ones have been pretty good. It's like you're supposed to make fun of the villains. Like there's a whole character to it that I think they're finally getting back to in the movies, which I like. So
did you even watch Avengers?
I watch them. Yeah, I watch them. Yeah.
That's personally.
I feel like an idiot for liking them now because he knows the comics because I enjoy them so much. Like I never read the comics, but I watched like the Spider-Man animated TV show growing up. I mean, I love superhero, just the idea of it, and then I also watch anime. You would love anime, I guarantee it. You should read the manga.
I'm not an expert in that, but I do enjoy it when I read it. You'd like Rob Liefeld, who is the creator of Deadpool. He's here in LA.
Really?
He'd be a good person for your podcast.
Oh, that would be,
yeah.
That would
so
be cool.
he was the Nadeshot of comics.
No way.
Yeah, he was because he was like at age 23 on like Levi's ads and stuff like that because he was like that whole generation of comics. Todd McFarlane, Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, all created the first boom of comics in the 90s, and he was a big celebrity at the time.
I actually got to meet Ryan Reynolds for the original Deadpool marketing campaign, and it was unbelievable. I was so nervous because I never had done interviews like that. And the most difficult part about it, which I still get like secondhand embarrassment to this day, is that he stayed in character like during the interview. Like he was Ryan Reynolds and TJ Miller was there, but he was just being like really sarcastic. And I'm convinced that sarcasm sometimes goes over my head. Like it could be the most obvious and apparent sarcastic joke, and I'll be like, why did you say something like that? And they're like, well, mean. And so I'm having such a hard time because normally if I'm in a one-on-one conversation, I can hold my own and I can reciprocate ideas and we can conversate. But with Ryan Reynolds, I look like a blabbering idiot. This guy looked at me, and I think the first thing I told him is like, hey, I really loved you in Blade 3. And he's like, what the f*** did you just say? And it was, I'm sweating because it's hot in here, but I'm sweating because I was so embarrassed by it. But the Deadpool adaptation I thought was actually really good.
No, it's amazing. I know Rob was really, really happy. And he first appeared in New Mutants 87 Deadpool character, and that's on my wall at home. So.
You're an OG. Well, it seems like one of the cool things is that you touched on it with Spider-Man is that they've clearly started to lean into these are based on comic books. We can have fun with them. It doesn't have to be the Dark Knight. Like it can be fun and alive and all.
Well, Shazam was pretty good too, and that was like the first time I've seen like comedy, like real comedy in a DC movie. But that's
I thought they did a lot with a terrible character.
Yeah,
Shazam. Yeah. I just think that's a terrible character, but I thought they did a nice job.
I don't necessarily disagree with you because I knew nothing about that character in general. But
I'm not a DC guy. I know I'm going to upset the DC guys. By the way,
I don't think
New Mutants 87 was Cable. I think Deadpool is New Mutants 89. So.
Wow, just had to clarify.
Well, because the people listening, I'm going to get stuff on Twitter saying, he's an idiot. He doesn't even know what that...
Don't worry, because they're going to be very focused on my like stupid NBA questions, thinking that Steve Young, Steve Francis, I'm already going to get chewed up.